Hello and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to a special episode of our talk show here at Revitalized. Today is campaign day 10. Can you imagine? We are 10 days in, 10 interviews in to our campaign about this amazing retreat that we are hosting on behalf of our teachers. So we have the immense pleasure of hosting tonight on the show a remarkable teacher and ambassador, Dr. Regina Inem, an extraordinary individual who is dedicated to transforming lives through education. We want to take a moment to express our gratitude for each and every one of you who have been following and connecting with us throughout this journey that we have been doing on behalf of our teachers. Your unwavering support and belief in this initiative is empowering to us and empowering to every teacher that is recipients of this amazing experience. Today, as we sit down with Dr. Regina Inem, we are reminded of the incredible power that education holds in shaping the future of our society. Dr. Inem's passion for education reform, her advocacy for children's rights, and her resilient pursuit of empowering teachers across the African nations have touched countless lives and brought real, tangible change. In the midst of all our challenges and uncertainty, it is crucial to us that we remember that together we have the ability to make lasting impact. We believe that education is not only a fundamental right, but also a catalyst for growth, development, transformation. And it is because of individuals like Dr. Inem and the unwavering support of our communities that we can continue to empower teachers and create a brighter future for generations to come. So, let us join our hearts and minds together today as we delve into a rich conversation with Dr. Regina Inem. Let her words and her experience inspire us all to embrace the power of education in uplifting teachers and collectively working together to a world where every child has access to equality in education. We are truly grateful for your presence, for your support on this incredible journey, and we cannot wait to embark on this transformational conversation with Dr. Inem. And so without any further ado, I bring to you Dr. Inem to join us in this conversation. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you so much, Crystal, for inviting me here. I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, and we are excited to have you as part of this experience and part of the wonderful ambassadors that are collaborating to make not just our initiative possible, but continuing the work that you're already doing in your community. So as we get started, tell our community or our audience here a little bit more about yourself and the work that you do through your organization.
Okay, my name is Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem, the Executive Director, Regamus Foundation. And Regamus is a group. We have the Regamus Consulting, which has to do with education. We also have the Regamus Farm. I tell you, I'm very diversified. Then we have the Regamus UL Academy, which is a nursery primary school for now. I started my education story about 26 years now. And I tell you, I'm a teacher to the core. And that's why anything that has to do with the teachers or with a teacher, I am passionately involved. I love teachers because I have been that subject teacher. And here in Africa, they believe that the reward of the teacher is in heaven. so,
Yeah.
so I am passionate about teachers telling people, no, our reward is also here. And,
Yeah.
joining the teaching profession People, thought, oh, why do you have to be a teacher? Teachers are normally poor. I said, oh, really? And the journey has been very progressive one. I told myself I wouldn't be a poor teacher.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Absolutely.
I decided to train myself, went to a lot of professional development programs, both in Nigeria and around the globe. And today I can tell you, I'm not just a successful teacher, I'm a school owner also.
Yes. We are
So,
super proud of that. Yes. Go ahead.
yeah. And so my journey goes beyond the classroom. I'm passionate about humanity. And that's where our work in Regamos Foundation is. We're passionate about youth, about widows, about abused girls. So I'm a child protection advocate. And I'm also passionate about orphans. So we work with orphanages, and every year we adopt orphanages that we empower. So it's a journey of serving God through humanity. And
Okay.
it is something I am so happy doing. And I give God the glory for giving me the opportunity to serve Him through my work with humanity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that phrase, serving God through humanity, and being able to have empathy enough to let your life be in service to your community and to the men and women and children in your community. It's notable, and we are commending you, and we're super excited to have you be a part of our experience. I was fortunate to meet you prior to this initiative through the G100 Youth Entrepreneurship and Leadership Wing. And together through Dr. Defoe, we connected. And I always was impressed with the way that you push for the things that you get involved in. So if you're involved, you're definitely pushing and progressing the initiative forward. You're making sure that you're being impactful. And because of that, when we started to kind of ideate this experience, I definitely had you on the top of my list as a connector to help me to identify persons in your community, because it's not possible to do a global project without collaborations with persons in different regions. So I thank you, first of all, for saying yes. And even here under this conversation, tell some persons about, your initial thoughts of the program once you heard about it and what we wanted to do. What were your thoughts on this? Yes.
Yes. First, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity, given me to want to impact the lives of teachers. And when you told me about this, I was really super excited. Why? Because as I tell you, as I told you the last time, teachers are regarded as, can I say, vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's yes, it's a noble profession, but it's a profession that nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
Nobody. And hearing this teachers retreat, I was like, wow, this is an exceptional opportunity. I've not seen it anywhere in the world. I'm a brand ambassador of the 1 million teachers, and it's based in Canada. What we do is try to empower teachers. So they try to train teachers, but having a retreat where teachers can go relax. Wow, I've never heard of it.
And that's the uniqueness and the challenge as well, because for us, when we started to think about it, yes, there are training programs that are brilliant to helping teachers become more effective in the classroom, but one of our focuses is on the mental health and the capacity of the individual, because if your human capacity can't handle or cope with whatever you're dealing with in your personal life, and then bringing that into a classroom setting, it makes it doubly difficult to be able to manage your own well-being. And prioritizing that was some of the reasons we focused on just having a moment for teachers to pause, because I feel like teachers don't pause. And you can definitely tell us more about the education system in Nigeria. But I could tell you from our perspective in the Caribbean, most of the time, teachers work 24/7. They do holiday classes, weekend classes, summer classes. They do morning and afternoon classes, and then they're still on call in the event that their student has any issue that pops up or any time. Is that the same? What is the educational system like in Nigeria? Yes. So,
Okay, yes. So here in Nigeria, we have the education system is divided into two. We have the public sector, we have the private. The private seem to take care of the teachers more, and a lot goes on well with the children with learning, teaching and learning in the classroom. But the public sector, is a far cry, when it comes to taking care of teachers and all those. Yeah. Now, you talked about the mental well-being of teachers. Back here, this is not put into consideration at all. So imagine being a typical teacher. You wake up very early, you come to work, and the student misbehaves, and you can't reprimand, and the school authority, shouts down on you for scolding a child, and the parents comes and reports, and everyone seems to be against the teacher.
Right.
Everyone seems to be against the teacher. And I know what nobody thinks of the mental well-being of the teacher. So it's crazy. I think this is not just about being a Nigerian or African thing. I think it's globally.
Yeah.
Because the mental well-being of teachers is not being considered at all. Sure. Everyone blames the teacher. The child does well, the teacher is not praised. The student is praised. The child doesn't do well, the teacher is blamed. The things don't go right in the school, and let's say, for example, because teachers too are human, maybe human error, something happened, the teacher is blamed. The teachers are blamed for everything.
Yes.
And no one thinks about their mental state.
Right.
So it's a problem. Now, we now go into the salaries. Teachers are poorly paid. Education in Africa is poorly funded. Poorly funded. I don't know about the Caribbean, but it is poorly funded, even from the government, funding the sector. Yeah. Teachers are not well paid. Now, imagine someone that is not well paid is being looked down on, the society when they say you're a teacher. Oh, really? Nobody respects you. Right. Because they think you're even poor. Now, the students, you have, everybody blames you for any negative thing in the school. So the mental health problem, the financial problems, all on a teacher.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you are told your reward is in heaven.
Exactly. And that definitely cannot be the case anymore. Because that is a huge burden to carry. And also knowing that teachers carry the weight of not just educating students, but being mentors, role models. So on one hand, you blame the teacher for everything, which we obviously know of, whether it's the parents, the school, it's always the teacher. And then you also have the teacher can't make a mistake. And I think that this is one of the most critical problems in our education systems. Teachers aren't allowed to be in certain places. Not that we're encouraging teachers to be unmoral, but what we're saying is a teacher should be able to go out and have fun. And most of the time, especially in the Caribbean, I've seen teachers critiqued for going out dancing as an adult in a in a regular adult club, and a parent approached the teacher to say, "What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be in class tomorrow morning?" And it baffles me because I'm saying, isn't a teacher allowed a life, a personal life that is beyond the classroom? When does a teacher get to let their hair down and just be human? And these are some of the issues that we're not discussing necessarily. And then when it ties back to their mental health in our communities, for the most part, mental health isn't a priority for anyone. And then it's less and less and less of a priority to a teacher. And that is heartbreaking, especially for us as we read more and more statistics around teachers and the statistics of teachers burning out, statistics of teachers having mental breaks, and all these other issues that they're experiencing. So, while we understand the issues and everything around teachers, what I would still also like to discuss is, what are some of your hopes for the education system, or what are some solutions that you have thought about, want to champion in your community and globally as well?
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my hopes, the first one is a teacher should not come into the profession because of money. So I hope to see globally passionate people in the industry, not just coming because they want to earn a living.
Right.
The more passionate people we have in this industry,
Mm.
we will have better communities and a better nation. I tell you, the educational system grooms the economy, grooms the community, grooms the future. Teachers grooms the future. So
Yeah.
if in the country we have a lot of teachers that are doing the right thing, being that role model, being that passionate guardian for the children, I tell you, a lot the society will be much better.
Yes.
So I want to see more passionate teachers globally.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next one is character molding of the children. Being a teacher transcends beyond the sciences, the mathematics, the chemistry, the English, or whatever subject being taught.
Yeah.
You have to mold character. There's this adage that says that your attitude defines your altitude, not your grades.
Yeah.
So teachers globally have a role to play in the attitude of their children. Today we have a lot going wrong in the world. I will say I blame teachers also.
Mm.
And the truth is that teachers can't give what they don't have. So that
Right.
is why retreats like this is good to build their moral,
Yeah.
um, to, to build them, to let them know that the world supports them.
Mm-hmm.
The world is with them.
Yeah.
And maybe this will to groom our children. More right, see globally, is for African nations to invest in the education and on the teachers.
Yeah.
Capacity building of teachers is important. Teachers can't give what they don't have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In the
You can.
industry, growing up as a young teacher, I spent my money to groom myself. But not every teacher might have such audacity or such financial strength to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it is very important that teachers are adequately trained, adequately equipped to do the work they have, because the work, I tell you, is enormous. And knowing that this work will affect the nation or affect the future, so it is pertinent that a major investment is put in the lives of teachers because they affect generations.
Absolutely. And our motto behind this, or some of our goals behind this, is to create a culture of honor. And something you said earlier is, we want more passionate teachers. And I think that for such a long time, teachers went unappreciated for their service. So you get weary in well doing, as they say. So sometimes teachers come in to the space very motivated, very interested, very vested in the work. But once you're in it and you suffer the pains of whether it's low slack salaries, lack of appreciation, and then accusations on top of that, without much being poured back into you, what I've seen to find is that we're getting more teachers that are just exhausted. They're just tired. They're just tired of, the setting, the system, the lack of resources, the lack of support, and everything else. And so, passion for me comes from appreciation. You can see the contrast most times with even within companies whose employees are treated well, paid well, and equipped, have a different culture inside of the company. And even when you walk in the doors, you can feel the difference in the level of their service in comparison to a company that doesn't treat their employees well. And if we apply that same principle to the education system, you find that you have that same scenario playing out. Most teachers are just tired. For the most part, they're just exhausted. That's why I believe that this is a pivotal moment to say this is what we need to do for our teachers to make sure that they're not continuing this cycle of being burnt out and less interested in doing the work that they're supposed to do. Because to your point, they're raising the next generation. They have to be able to equip our students with better characters, better interest in education in itself. And then we'll have greater future leaders. And so for both of us who are advocates for, the young adults and young people, I think this is something that is critical and key to helping teachers continue to press forward. It is coming back to helping them reignite their passion for education. And hopefully through this and other projects around the world, we can have more teachers reignite their passions. And so it seems like Dr. Regina may have some technical difficulties on her end, but nevertheless, you do have me in the meantime. So I will take this opportunity as we are talking about motivating teachers and showing them our appreciation for all the work that they are contributing to our communities. I'll take a moment to remind you that Revitalize is in our campaign phase. We are still campaigning for the resources to take our teachers on an all expense paid trip to Jamaica. So you can head over to the link below here on the screen, or just go to our website at revitalizedstar.com and you will find more details about this project and as well as Revitalized. And we have Dr. Regina back with us. So, Dr. Regina, welcome back to the
Thank
show.
you.
I know that there are connectivity issues, so don't worry. I held the fort together and just talked about the Revitalize initiative until we got you back. But yes, welcome back. And we were just talking about, reigniting the passion of teachers by showing them appreciation and expressing to them that they are valuable and they are necessary. Because one of the things that I strongly believe is that in any classroom right now, we can have the next biggest leader. We can have the next president. We can have the next CEO. We can have the next tech star. You never know who you're being graced or being allowed to pour into in their journey. And the teachers have this privilege to be in the classroom with so many brilliant minds that they don't know what their future holds, but they have an opportunity to contribute some positive development for the next generation. And so I really, really encourage teachers to continue to serve their communities. And as you said earlier, come in with a passion for education, not just for a job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, as we are continuing the conversation, we know that you have partnered with us to identify two brilliant teachers that you also wanted to bring along with us. And yes, so to persons that are watching, yes, we know that all teachers deserve this experience, but we have to start somewhere. So, we have appointed ambassadors through several countries that are allowed then or given the opportunity to highlight 2 to 3 teachers in their communities. We do have Dr. Regina with us, but tell us as well about your other teachers who are joining us on Revitalized.
Okay. I've nominated 2 teachers, and one male, one female. I believe so much in balance.
Yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
and the male has been in the teaching profession for over close to 30 years. And sometimes he tells me, oh, I'm getting so discouraged. My salary for the past 20 years have not been increased. Sometimes get so, demoralized. And I said, don't worry, don't worry. You will be rewarded soon. And I think,
Absolutely.
this program will give him that motivation to continue in the profession and to continue to, impact lives. And the
Yes.
second one, she's still young. She's about 4 years in the industry, but so passionate about the work. So passionate. She actually works for my school. And I tell you, the children love her. She goes the extra mile, extra mile for every, sometimes to our own detriment. Sometimes I say, no, I'm giving you leave. Go. You say, no, I can't leave because of the children. I said, no, you need to leave. She says, no, she wants to stay. I said, oh, wow, such passion,
Yeah.
So the 2 of them have been nominated because of their passion,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of their passion. And I tell all teachers out there, yes, it might seem nobody is appreciating you, but keep doing what is right. Keep the passion burning. Programs like this might come, and you might see someone that will recommend you. God will always bring you to the fore. I'm sure these two never believe that they will be nominated for this and will be rewarded for their passion for lives, transforming lives and impacting lives. So,
Absolutely.
so we are starting with 2. In Nigeria,
Yeah.
we're starting with 2. But I tell you, maybe in a few years' time, in 5 years' time, we'll get to 20. So
Yes,
keep the passion
absolutely.
burning.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I keep saying here on the show is we have travel as our expression of, gratitude and everything else because of our strong belief in how travel impacts the human spirit and as well as helps you to become revitalized and everything else. But there are ways to express your appreciation for your teachers. And even coming down to the end of the school year now, we're encouraging persons to just at least take a moment to write a note to your teacher. That doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't have to, be a huge contribution or anything else, but you must start somewhere in creating a culture around, showing teachers that they are appreciated for serving. Because as you said, Dr. Regina, we have so many stories of teachers just burning themselves out for their students. They will continue working and staying and helping and coming early without even being asked.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yes. And I think that while we are championing this project and we want to have more teachers involved, we still want to encourage people through our messaging to find a way to express your appreciation in your own way. No matter what way it is, find something that you can do.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. So I know
Yes.
that throughout your career, Dr. Regina, you would have been in several education
Sorry
initiatives.
about that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no worries. Throughout your career, I know that you have been involved in several education initiatives, even with your 1 Million Teachers Association and so on. What have been some of the great practices that you've seen over the years that you encourage people to do now? Like some of things are that you can recommend people implement.
Yes.
Do you have any recommendations when it comes to education or when it comes to teachers that the community can do to help support their teachers?
Development in a month. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. I think the network seems to be fluctuating.
Right.
Okay.
Did you hear what I asked? Or do you need me to repeat it?
Okay. You can repeat, please.
Yes, sure. What I was asking is, throughout your career, I know that you're involved in several organizations. One of the questions I is, have you seen any best practices when it comes to education or to teachers that you would encourage, the community to do or governments to do to help the education system on a whole?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one will be professional development training. I've mentioned that earlier. Very important. The second one is building a reward system in your school. You could have during Teachers Appreciation Day, you can even having drinks or that small, a little certificate to say, oh, you're doing well. So reward system being built into the school system is very important in school system, the state levels and all that.
Yeah.
Then another is making resources available for the teachers. We are in the IT era, and most teachers would need maybe the laptop or devices to work with. Some of them might not even be able to afford this. So create schemes where they can have this resource.
Mhm.
They could you could partner with other companies that are into IT, and they give the laptops to the teachers, maybe at a
Mhm.
subsidized rate, or uh, um, they run a system of maybe a loan, maybe 6 months repayment plan,
Yeah.
because again, once you have teachers that are not tech savvy, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a problem. So I think for most schools in Africa, especially, that I don't know about the Caribbean, I will speak for my area.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think the need to train teachers, in the use of technology and them owning those devices will
Yeah.
also be good. Then
Absolutely. Yeah.
the last one is um, teachers' salary should be reviewed. They are poorly paid in all the different professions. I think for in Africa, the professionals that are poorly paid are teachers. So I think something should be done about the salaries. Then for the public schools, the government should ensure that resources, because sometimes they don't even have the teaching resources, in most of the public schools.
Mhm.
So investing in resources in the schools will go a long way to equipping teachers to making teaching and learning fun for the
Yeah.
children.
Absolutely. I love those. Those points are very valid, and especially when it comes to technology. I'm a strong advocate for equipping persons to be relevant in our present day era. We can't no longer keep the old systems of education and not equip our young people to be ready for this technological wave that will take over everywhere eventually. In most countries, classrooms, have technologies available, and some places just don't have any at all. And so, your encouragement to the local community to whether it's an adoption system where they adopt a school and then that school, they support that school, any opportunities to create systems like this will be beneficial. And I'm hopeful that just opening the conversation here, if persons are interested in learning more how to support schools or even how to build reward systems, especially because building incentive programs is something similar to what we're doing here at Revitalize with our travel incentive. So if schools want to learn more about how to build even smaller incentive programs, we're happy to consult with them and support them in helping them to implement more reward systems for their particular schools, to make it possible for them to have these systems in place so that teachers can definitely feel appreciated within the classroom and within the schools that they're serving, because we can start from somewhere. So as you said, even if it's a teacher's
Yeah,
appreciation gift or something, we can do something on every level. I appreciate your advice to our teachers and as well as to our school systems and supporters and communities, because I believe it's a community effort to make it possible for teachers to be resilient, to be passionate, and to continue nurturing and raising our young people. Tell us, as we're kind of winding down in the
yeah,
conversation here, tell us how, in your own words, what you believe the impact is across communities, because sometimes most people might think, well, what's in it for us as a community? Why should we support teachers? Why should we help teachers be more resilient and passionate? They should just do their jobs. How is it impacting not just the classrooms but teachers as well, but communities, sorry, communities as well? Yeah.
okay. As I said earlier, the teachers they build the future and they handle lives. In every community, you must have children. These children grows up to become youth and grows up to become future leaders.
Yeah.
So just imagine the future leaders are not well groomed. It will be a disaster. So
Right.
it is very important and pertinent that teachers are well taken care of, encouraged, motivated to groom young people, children, teenagers to become responsible youth and groom, and again to also equip teachers to become solution providers who will also teach these children to be problem solvers, who also teach these children to be good leaders with
Mhm.
empathy,
Yeah.
not just leaders, leaders with empathy,
Mhm.
and also groom these children to have very good decision making skills. In Africa, for example, we have leadership problem in major countries in Africa. Why? Because when they were children, they were not taught to rule with the heart of service. So they come in as presidents with a mind of amassing wealth for only themselves and destroying the economy, and the whole world plus Africa suffers.
Yeah.
So it's important we raise leaders in children. Lead us with the hearts to serve. Lead us with the hearts, with empathetic hearts, so that they can positively affect their communities, their states, their nations, and the continent, and the world at large.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely. Every single, I believe personally that education and teachers are the foundation. And if the
Absolutely.
foundation isn't set properly, the rest of the building becomes negatively impacted. You
Absolutely.
always come from your roots, and then the root of all young people come from the education systems. Our teacher yesterday, in her interview, she mentioned that, you know, students start in the classroom. You lay the foundation for their journey in that classroom. You teach them ethics in the classroom. You teach them manners in the classroom. All of this springs from that foundation. So if we can get the foundation right, everything else that we build on these young people will go right. And so that their futures are as triumphant and thriving and successful as we would hope that they would be. So, Dr. Regina, thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you so much for collaborating with me to make this possible for teachers in Nigeria. We are at the foundation layer of this initiative. This is the first of many opportunities and many initiatives to come as we have more dialogue with leaders, more dialogue with other teachers, and more dialogue with the community to encourage all of us collectively to create a culture of honor for teachers and our education systems and really pour our tangible resources into making education a priority for everyone. Any last words before we wrap up the show today, before you go? We're not hearing you. Can you hear us now? Let's see if we can.
Thank you so
Yes.
much for the opportunity. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you
Hello?
now. Yes. So,
Okay. So one last word, because the network seems to be fluctuating. So I need to be fast, 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 fast. Okay. So one last word up there. I want every teacher out there to know that they are nation builders and future builders. They should keep the passion burning. They should know that the world relies on them for a better tomorrow. And that is
yeah.
why our children are being placed in their hands for them to nurture. And they should also know that even creation and God Himself believes that they are able to represent humanity right by doing the right thing and raising innocent children to becoming great tomorrow. So keep the passion and know that you are super, super important to the whole of humanity. So that's the little word I have.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Inem. You are a precious, precious contribution to our initiative. And I know that your community is being impacted by your commitment and passion for your young people, for your women, for the orphans, and everyone else that you continue to serve Thank you for your service and everything that you do, whether it is recognized or not. Persons like myself, we see you and we see the great work that you are doing. And I look forward to seeing you in the beautiful island of Jamaica in the coming months. So we are excited here on our end. We're working to make sure that all is possible and everything goes smoothly. And so thank you again for everything that you do. And we will continue to be in touch and continue to pioneer and continue to send messages to your community to help support your teachers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining today's show. We are super excited that we are getting so much positive responses from you and from the community at large. We would like to say a special thank you again to all the ambassadors. I won't call their names today. We'll do a special show just to recognize the ambassadors that are collaborating with us. But today, a special thanks to Dr. Regina for being here with us and having a conversation around education, not only in Nigeria, but also education, the status of education across the globe. I am hopeful that you were inspired. I'm hopeful that you took away some valuable information around how you can support your teacher in your community. And so we hope that you take the baton and take the initiative to do something special for the teacher in your life and contribute in any way that you can to our initiative and to the global initiative of education around the world. Thank you so much. My name is Crystal Legrand, and I am out for today, but we will be back with another episode tomorrow. So you can join us here again tomorrow for the next episode. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you. We would like to say a special thank you to Revitalized Nigeria Ambassador and founder of Rigamus Foundation, Ambassador Regina Inem. Thank you for being an exemplary leader and a pioneer in the education of your country. Thank you for partnering with us to help us to also identify fellow educators that we are rewarding with our incentive program in 2023 and beyond. A special thanks to each and every partner that collaborates with you to make this experience possible for educators coming from Nigeria. If anyone needs any further information about our program, you can reach out to us via email. Head over to our website to learn more details or schedule a meeting with our founder, Crystal Legrand, and get further in-depth details about this program. Donations are being received on our website to the top right-hand corner or at the link listed here in the screen. Stay up to date with everything that is happening behind the scenes as we roll out this campaign for Revitalize. You can follow us at Revitalize Star on all social media platforms. Thank you for watching today's show. We will see you again tomorrow for our next episode.